In this lesson, we are going to learn about a proof. A proof is a convincing argument that shows why a statement is true. A two-column proof has numbered statements and reasons that show this logical order of the arguments. Each statement has a reason listed to the right. So how do we write a proof? First, you're going to list the given information. You're going to use information from the diagram. You're going to give a reason for every statement. These reasons can be given information, definitions, postulates, and theorems. The statements are listed in an order. If a statement relies on another statement, then list it later than the statement it relies on. You end the proof with the statement you are trying to prove. So yes, it sounds like a lot. You're going to be given, basically just fill in information. You're not going to have to come up with the order of the logic. So in this example, write a two-column proof that shows that JKL, triangle JKL, is congruent to triangle NML. Okay, so you see that the given information is that we have segment JL congruent to NL, and L is the midpoint. That's important. L is the midpoint of segment KM. Okay, so let's look at our statements. The first statement is listed as JL congruent to NL. And if you look in our givens up top, you'll see that it is given. Likewise, L is the midpoint of KM is also given. It says angle L or JLK is congruent to NML. So what is that? Well, let's look at what they are up here. They're saying that these two angles right here are congruent. I'm going to mark them. And that, in a bow tie situation, we have intersecting lines, and they are vertical angles. Vertical angles congruent. Next, it says that KL is congruent to LM. And that statement comes from the fact that L is a midpoint. So this is the definition of midpoint. Midpoint splits a segment into two congruent segments. And then why are the two triangles congruent? Look at what you have marked up here. You have sides, you have the angle, and then you have the side. So the reason would be side, angle, side. Again, we're going to continue proving triangles congruent. In a word problem like this one, the first thing you want to do is make and label a diagram. Something a little more simple than a picture that's there. Write the given information and state the statement you need to prove, and then write a two-column proof. Again, you're not going to have to worry about writing the logic. But in this problem, we see that we know that DR is perpendicular to AG and RA is congruent to RG. We want to prove that triangles DRA and DRG are congruent. Okay, so there's a little more simple diagram. The given information is listed, and what we're trying to prove is listed. So if you take notice, the first statement is RA congruent to RG. That is in my given. The fact that DR is perpendicular to AG, again, is in my givens. Okay? We have marked up here DRA and DRG are right angles. Well, if two lines are perpendicular, they form right angles. So this is the definition of perpendicular lines. DRA is congruent to DRG, and they're right angles. All right angles are congruent. DR congruent to DR. Something is congruent to itself. Reflexive property. And we're going to mark that up here. And what do we have again? If you look, we have, and maybe you need to see this as two separate triangles, which we did in the previous section. DR congruent to itself, RA, RG, and the right angles congruent. So we have side, angle, side. And we're going to try one more. Fill in the missing statements and reasons, and this is the type of stuff that you will have to do, okay? So anytime you have something that looks like the bow tie, remember that these two angles right here are always going to be congruent, and they're congruent because of vertical angles. So if you look at statement 3, there's the two angles congruent. Vertical angles congruent. CB congruent to CE given. Line 2, what's the other given statement up there? AC congruent to DC. And why are the two triangles congruent? Well, we only have two reasons. It's either going to be side, 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 or side, angle, side. And we don't have three sides congruent. We have the angle in the middle, so it's side, angle, side. How do you determine whether to use side, 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 or side, angle, side? Side, side, side. You must have three pairs, excuse me, of corresponding sides congruent. Side, angle, side. You have two pairs of corresponding sides congruent. And what we called the included angle congruent. Okay, and I'm sure you'll need some help with the lesson, so please make sure you ask for help, and I'll see if I can't give you some shortcuts. And this ends the lesson.